This is police officer John O'Keefe. By all accounts, he was a good, honest, clean police officer who would disavow a dirty cop in a heartbeat. This is the man, John O'Keefe. The son, the brother, the brother-in-law, the uncle, the friend, the boyfriend, the friend to so many, the good cop. John died from a head injury and hypothermia, according to ME and ME expert witnesses. Several ME witnesses testified to the cause and manner of his death during what I have labeled the trial of the absurd. John did not die of natural causes. John did not unalive himself. John was murdered. This is Karen Reed, the businesswoman. Actually, I'm going to take a moment and you don't have to, I want to share with you guys, and we're not going to be able to go back right now, but I have John's obituary on this deck. So I'm going to share it with you at the end of the show. I'm going to read it to you because we need to remember this man and that he lived a good life and that he died right now in vain because we don't know why he died and we don't know who murdered him. This is his mother. She's got her finger up with all of the friends and family, and they just do not want to hear anything that has to do with anybody other than Karen Reed murdering her son. I respect her for whatever feeling she has to have. I am a mother. I have 2 boys. If anyone murdered my son, I would be all over it. But I would like to think that I would listen to reason. I would like to believe that I wouldn't just hop on any kind of train that wants to pick me up at the stop and take me away. So, Mrs. O'Keefe, I would never call you names like some other live streamers have. I pray for you. I'm sorry for you. I sympathize. I have empathy. But please, please, please consider the alternative. That's all we're asking you to do, as well as your fellow finger uppers. John did not die of natural causes. I'm going to repeat that. John did not unalive himself. I'm going to repeat that. John was murdered. Karen Reed is a businesswoman. She's a professional, a daughter, a sister. She's the aunt. She's the girlfriend of John O'Keefe. She was the girlfriend of John O'Keefe. Karen was accused and arrested in the death of John O'Keefe with very little physical evidence, with 0 witnesses. Accused of intentionally backing over him with her Lexus XUV. Intentionally. On purpose. There's no evidence to support that. There's no witnesses to support that. This is Karen and her legal team, and they did the best they could in the trial of the absurd, where witness after witness after witness lied through their teeth, told us stories they expected us to believe, set up the jury for failure. The entire court system set up the jury for failure because they were never allowed to see a transcript or hear any testimony of over 78 witnesses. Think about it, people. 8 weeks of testimony. And the jury was supposed to just remember all that and go off the notes that they had to scramble to take while both prosecution and defense were going at these witnesses for days and days and weeks and weeks. This is a happy couple, my dears. We all have pictures like this with our boyfriends, our husbands, our loved ones. They were happy. They fought. Sure, they did. Everybody fights. But this is not a couple that would murder each other. Trust me, it's just not. It didn't happen that way. Okay? So let's just consider that Karen Reed was on trial for 8 weeks and her jury returned a verdict of a hung jury. Her second trial is coming up in January. This is them on a surveillance camera at the bar hours before he was supposedly purposely run over by Karen Reed. Do you really expect us to believe that Karen Reed, a professor, a professional woman, would be hugging her boyfriend and looking? That is genuine happiness. There is no way that she purposely ran over John O'Keefe. And as far as we believe from all the evidence, John was not hit by a car. So what we are left with is that someone murdered John O'Keefe and they're out there walking around. And we are going to break that down today. We're going to go over the ABCs like we do here at Calling Out Corruption and talk to you about the evidence and what the evidence actually shows and what the witnesses don't have anything to say about because they didn't see it. So I am going to bring my guests up on the platform with me now. I am super happy to have guests with me today. So let me bring everybody up here with me and we are going to start out our show today. So welcome everyone. I am Catherine Felton Page. I am a retired police officer, I'm a retired journalist, and I am a retired social worker. Yes, all three throughout various courses of my 61 years of life. I am now retired, but I was pretty tired of seeing all the crime that is going on in our government and our police departments. Just about everywhere I've lived has had issues with police, with dirty cops, with criminals in government. Constantly seeing this for years since my retirement, I just decided, you know what? Why not come out of retirement? Why not come up with something that I can help others? So I created Social Change Warriors 5 years ago so that I could do some good and take my mind off of what I was seeing, all the crime in the streets and the crime in the government, because I didn't know what I could do about it. So I started doing pre-recorded shows on how to help people in our communities who are struggling financially, how to help victims of domestic violence, which I am an expert in, and other neighborhood community awareness programs that I have started for alcoholism for teenagers, for suicides, or unaliving, as we are supposed to call it now. So I'm happy to be here. I'm glad that you're joining me. My channel is not political. My channel is about calling out corruption, calling it out when we see it, bringing it to light, shining light, and getting rid of, as Sean puts it, all the mofos that are out there committing crimes in police and government. So with that intro, I am happy to introduce my guest tonight, Sean. I love the Sean on the Golf. I think that's my favorite nickname for you. My wonderful partner in non-crime, my advocacy partner, Amber Kay, and another amazing retired law enforcement officer, Ed Byers, who is going to bring us some more news from Indiana corruption tonight. So we're going to start out the show with you, Sean, and let's tell my audience, my social change warriors, a little bit about yourself. I know all about you that I need to know, but let's tell the social change warriors out there about yourself.
Well, thank you, Catherine. I get to do shows tonight with two Catherines, yourself and Catherine Peter. Thank you for having me on. Okay, real simple. 35 years total in law enforcement. I started out as a police officer in the D.C. area for 7 years. I hired on with the DEA in 1986, and I had 28 years total with the DEA. Wow. I went in offices in Springfield, Mass, Houston, Texas, Lima, Peru, the jungles of Peru, in Iquitos, Peru. That was the best tour of all. I got promoted to Naples, Florida. Can you believe it? What a gift that was. Holy moly. Then I went to Fort Myers, went back over to seas to Caracas, Venezuela. Hugo Chavez didn't like this gringo, so he denied my visa. So I ended up in Bogota, Colombia, and I headed up the money laundering investigation. Worldwide. I was a supervisor for the money laundering operation for DEA. But one key thing about this case, you're going to say, well, geez, Sean, why are you you're a DEA guy, right?
Right.
What do you know jack shit about, can I say that? I don't know. I don't want to get you a strike.
I'm not monetized. You can say anything you want. So, I'm a volunteer.
How do you know about crime scenes and this and that? Well, I did. The last 3 years of my tour with the Arlington County Police Department in Arlington, Virginia, I was that guy for 3 solid. And you know something? I loved it. Everyone, I want to be a homicide detective. Yeah, that's all good. But getting down into the weeds, looking for evidence, putting your nose on the ground, smelling for something, whatever, right? That was back in 83-ish, right?
Right.
So 3 years, 86, I was in the DEA. That was my bread and butter, how I started off with this case. So that's me. And I got to say there, Catherine, you have a lot of courage, especially now, because listen, Crazy Sean, got to watch out for Crazy Sean. You never know. You never, but usually the craziness is more crazy on Monday. So thank God we're on Wednesday. And I think we're going to be pretty safe, Catherine. Trust me.
Hey, I feel totally safe, Sean. I am happy always to meet anybody that was willing to risk their life to protect mine. So any officer that ever wants to come on this show and talk to me about what they dealt with in their communities, what it was like being a police officer, a detective, an undercover agent, I will always welcome any ex-law enforcement officer on this show at any time. Ed, could you briefly introduce yourself for us to the audience of Social Change Warriors?
Sure. My name's Ed Byers. I'm a retired United States federal agent. I did 10 years as a National Park Ranger. I did 11 years as a special agent with U.S. Customs, and I did 10 years as a federal air marshal. I got name requested to help them out on September the 12th, 2001, long time ago. And I have a PhD in criminal justice. I got that after I retired.
Awesome.
Wow. Thank you, Ed.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Ed, for your service. I'm so honored to have you on this show with me tonight. And I just want to remind everybody too, I'm not a brand. I'm not a show, actually. I mean, I know this is a live show. It is what it is, but I'm a movement. So I'm trying to encourage people in local communities to attend their county board meetings, their city board meetings, attend anything you can attend that takes place in your city that has to do with anything that has to do with building or school reform or taxes, whatever you can get your hands on, get in there because it'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel like you're part of something because we can't just keep relying on people we elect. Sometimes they get bought off, and that's the truth. And Sean and Ed know this. Sometimes they get deep in their own narcissism about being elected official and they start caring only about how popular they are, how many clicks they have, how many views they have. They stop caring about you and how the bus service comes to your house or doesn't come to your house. They stop caring about how much taxes you're paying and that you have to sell your house because you can't afford the taxes. Forget the house mortgage. You just can't afford the taxes. It's simple as that. Right. They forget about your schools and how much your kids are being taken care of and are the teachers being paid enough and is there free lunch for those kids that don't have any money. That's what we need to do in our communities. When you feel overwhelmed by the world and by society, go to your local meetings. That's what Social Change Warriors is trying to help you to want to do. And that's our movement. We are also covering crime because as a police officer, and I know Ed and Sean will agree with me, there's nothing worse than a dirty cop. That is the worst of the worst because we all went to the police academy. We all took an oath to serve our communities. And we don't stand for dirty cops. We don't care about how much money you want to make or how popular you want to be or what kind of problems you have. If you're a dirty cop and you're hurting people or you're murdering people or you're stealing from people, we want you gone. Right, Sean?
Absolutely. Get out of here. No need for you.
Hit the door. Now, I met Amber. I met all of you because I decided to go back on Twitter. I was very leery to do it because I really didn't like the direction it was taking anymore. The anger, the hate-filled conversations, the lack of patience or tolerance for anybody who doesn't think just like you or look just like you. I was off the Twitter for probably 2 years, but a murder case came in front of me and it was the Jennifer Dulos murder case. And it really fired me up and it really ticked me off at the lack of laws we have for domestic violence victims and the perpetrators and how long they stay in jail and when they get out on bail. So I was in that case and I decided I'm going to start tweeting about it. And then unfortunately, I ran across more domestic violence murders. Constantly, I'm running across more and more, and these women aren't getting recognized. The perpetrators aren't being held up to any kind of standard that we would hold to anyone else. For whatever reason in our country, we just do not want to call out these domestic violence perpetrators. So I was mad about that. And that's how I decided to start live streaming. And I met Amber because I then caught on to the Karen Reed case and started following all of the different live streams that were talking about her case, the lawyers that were I hadn't watched a case on TV, to be honest with you, since the O.J. Simpson trial. And all of a sudden, I'm like glued into this case, the Karen Reed case, back when they started with the grand jury. I'm like, what is going on? This is insane. This woman did not kill this police officer. So that's how I met Amber. And I want her to introduce herself briefly, and then we're going to roll with it, Sean.
Hi, everybody. I am Amber Kay, and I'm here to support Social Change Warriors. Like Kat said, I met her through the Karen Reed trial and discussing that the standout in Madison, Wisconsin. So it's all across the nation. And I'm excited to have Shawnee Ogue here and to delve into that crazy loco mind.
So Sean, tell us what was the catalyst? What tipped you into saying, I have to live stream about this case?
Well, I mean, I had a whole year before that, almost, wow, a year and a half. The same old story. It's the same story. Anyone who's interviewed that has taken a full interest in this case always says the same thing. Heard about it when it happened, got away from it. All of a sudden, a year and a half later, some guy named Turtle Boy comes on the scene and hooked everyone.
Yeah.
That's how I got in. But I went to high school in Canton. So this hit home for me.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Now, at first, I said, "Come on, dude. I mean, you better have some receipts." I learned a lot of vernacular that I didn't have. Receipts. All these other things with.
I thought you don't have the receipts, Sean. According
I
to
never
some
have
people.
I don't have receipts. No way. I just make them up.
Do we have a clip about that, Amber? I think we might, don't we?
Oh, give me a minute. Give this boomer a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it that Amber, who is old enough to be my daughter, calls herself a boomer.
Yeah.
I'm a boomer. I am a boomer through and through. I was born in 63. I just made it under the gun.
All right. Look at that.
Yeah, we're going to show a little clip when Amber pulls it up here. StreamYard was doing some funky stuff today. They weren't letting me really show the Google deck. They made me share my window, which I don't really love doing, because all of you that have been following me since August know that I love my Google Decks, because I want to try to always educate you the best I can, because our whole meaning for Social Change Warriors is knowledge, power, action, change. If you don't know something, you can't really expect to build power to go ahead and continue your action and then make that change happen. You have to start with knowledge. That's how everything starts. And you don't have to go to school to get it. You can get it on the job. You can get it by having these discussions with your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues. But educate yourself. Get some knowledge before you try to make any kind of power action change, because you won't have enough receipts to be able to stand up with it. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that up for you. But things have been a little interesting, to say the least, in the world of what I call the theater of the absurd. So today, Karen was back in court. I don't know if any of you caught that, but
No, I didn't.
She was back in court to, I guess they've got the whole motions to put in, right? To so she doesn't have to go back to trial for counsel.
Is this the appeal before the suit? Okay, today was that day.
Process, right? So that we're obviously, she's trying to appeal that the jury did indeed find her not guilty of counts 1 and 3. So all she should be tried for, if they continue this farce of a trial, would be for just manslaughter, correct? Right.
That would be for me personally, listen, they failed miserably, all right, on counts 1 and 3. I mean, and let's face it, there was no, Ed will agree with it, there was no investigation done at all, okay? But I think if Brendan, I don't know how this thing will go, it probably takes a couple of months, so who knows?
I believe so, yeah, it could take months. It's according to what I saw a little bit on the news.
If Hammer and Hank, Brendan, has his skill sets still active, we should summarily dismiss 1 and 3 and go at the hit and run. And then good luck, Hank, because it's not there, baby. It wasn't there the first time. You're not going to do little fairy dust and make shit happen. It's not going to, but you never know.
It's never going to happen. She's never going to get convicted because she's factually innocent. And we're trying to bring end to this. We have to educate him a lot about this Karen Reed case, because people would not believe it. It's so absurd.
Nobody
but
does.
If you're able to share the screen, Kat, I want to bring up this clip about receipts. And it's funny. It's so crazy, Sean. I'm just going to preface this with, I'm watching Turtle Boy's stream on Saturday, and somebody asks a question and he starts to give you some jabs.
No.
And I basically called, and we'll watch this. I just basically called him out and said, you do the exact same thing. You're being kind of hypocritical right now. And he called me out by name on his show. So let's watch it if you don't mind.
Twitter, you're allowed to do that as well. I don't care what you call me, whatever, just be here. That's all I ask. Any business is good business, but
it's not coming
opinions, which is your right.
I know where it is.
I would recommend you.
Any business is good business. Yeah, when you have a brand, that's what it is. So
$50,000 a month. That's good. It's a bank.
Let's see.
Here it comes.
Joan sends $10 and goes, please just say Joan and not my last name. Turtle Boy Sean on the Golf put up a screenshot allegedly of Mr. O'Keefe stating that there is a 12-minute video which shows his involvement in having John O'Keefe's traverse towed and fixed to hide evidence. I think it's disgraceful to put an alleged screenshot of Mr. O'Keefe with zero ID and allege there is a video support. Thank you. Again, Joan, I agree with you on that one. If he's got the proof, show it's his dad. Show it. If it's a screenshot of his text message, show it's his fucking number. Show the fucking video. Enough of this. Hide the. Wait till you see what's coming up next. Wait till you see. Oh, do you know? Throwing out random names. Oh, I know what you did. But then just fucking say it, dude. I mean, it's a show. It's a fucking show. No more riddles. Like people like me because I just fucking show shit. I don't fucking tease you with bullshit. If I do tease you with shit, I might say it. Like the other day, I said, Jim McDermott, I know what you did. And what happens the next day? You get a blog about Jim McDermott explaining that he drove drunk and almost killed a woman in 2006. Boom. How fucking hard is that? That's it. Thank you. Okay.
Here it comes.
No, I don't do the same shit as Sean. I deliver every fucking time, Amber. Let's be very clear about that. Every single time I say something coming down the pike.
Hold up. I just have to say this one thing. What I'm talking about is how many times does Turtle Boy say, he'll put something out. Oh, the feds are coming, but I wouldn't know anything about that. Okay, that's why I'm saying he does the same shit. I'm not saying he doesn't bring receipts. Sean brings receipts as well. Sean has sources as well. They're kind of one and the same is what I'm trying to say. You're not that different. And so why is he calling you out, Sean? I don't understand. That was my point. And I support Turtle Boy. I support the movement. But I just wanted to say, leave Sean alone. Leave Sean alone because you're calling him out for something that you do yourself. Hold up. Let me see what he says.
It comes down the pike. I bring receipts. I never tell you I have something if I don't intend on showing you it. Every single time. Every time. And I always do it. You can't find any times I haven't. But anyway, so there's that.
So there's that.
It's an old story, just a new day. Let's face it. If you were back with me in the original OG days, this is an old story. It's just a new day, new year, new week. All right, that's it. Listen, no one's gonna take Aiden's little pride and joy away from him. Come on, Catherine.
Yeah, I have to say,
Eddie, we're cops, right? We're cops. Hold on, we're cops. Right?
Yeah. So I'm going to say something here. Jonathan,
who's this?
Yeah, Jonathan Rubin. Turtle Boy is an investigative journalist. Sean is a retired government employee living in Florida. Yeah, well, listen, Jonathan. And unless you put on a uniform and you've worn a gun belt and you've worn a vest and you've had a gun pointed at you, or you think you're about to have a gun pointed at you, or you've been in the woods with criminals and you're alone and your backup's not here yet, do not tell me about Sean being a government employee. I was a freaking government employee, and I love to swear, but I promised my mother I wouldn't swear today. See, Mom, no swear words. I worked for the University of Wisconsin my entire career. I had several different roles, as well as community police officer, patrol officer. Until you've actually been a police officer, do never come on my show and disrespect police officers, because it's the hardest job you'll ever have. And I've had a lot of jobs because I'm just one of those kind of people. I like to learn new things, and I get tired of being somewhere and off I go. I'm that way with my housing too. But I will call out a dirty cop every day, but I will also respect and stand up for a cop every day. Sean risked his life to protect us, to call out the bad guys, to bring down the bad guys. Turtle Boy was a school teacher. I have massive respect for what he's done as an independent investigative journalist, but I do not have respect when he pokes fun at people. I do not have respect when he calls people names. I do not have respect when he uses the C word all the time. And I don't care if that's what you do because you're in your 30s. You do not call the mother of a dead police officer the C word. You never, ever do that. Even if she's not behaving the way you think she should be behaving, and she's not listening to us and she doesn't believe us, she's not the C word. She is a grieving mother, and you don't get to do that. You don't get to use your platform to do that and jazz up all of your people. Now your people will never come on my show again, but that's okay, because I don't need anybody to come on this show. I'm here to stand up to criminals and to fight injustice against people that are being put in jail when they shouldn't be, and being accused of crimes when they shouldn't be. And I'm here to call out dirty cops and dirty government. And I don't give a flying flip if you don't like my politics, if you don't like me, if you don't think I should be saying things against somebody who's made Karen Reed's story blow up. I told you I have master's respect for him, but I also cannot like certain things he does. And calling out Sean and putting Sean on notice when all Sean has ever done is give of his time to prove to all of you that Karen Reed did not hit John O'Keefe with her car. That is a fact, guys. Karen Reed did not hit John O'Keefe with her car. There is no evidence to support that. His injuries don't support it. The police messed up the investigation. So for all of you that are live streaming to get on Sean's case because he's trying to help bring out the criminals, he's trying to help call out the people that actually murdered John. You're all on the same team. Do you guys not hear that? You are all on the same team. I'm begging of you to stop fighting, stop being mad at each other, stop calling each other names. The Facebook wouldn't even put up my show today because Rocco doesn't want my show on, apparently. Why? Who is Rocco? Yeah. What does he have to do with any of this? Why does he decide if I'm a valid person or not?
That's one of my questions. I want to know what's going on with Nick Rocco, because when I tried to put up the link to this show, Turtle Boy let it on his page. Sean lets it on his page. Nick Rocco's, it doesn't get approved. I'm just wondering, why is that? Because this is for Karen Reed. I thought we're all for Karen Reed.
Is that towards me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, I want to know what's going on because I don't know the deets.
All right. We could be here forever on this. And now I'll tell you, to be honest, Catherine, Amber, Eddie, Ed, I'm telling you, you talk about the story itself. The backstory is the most incredible story of it all. The backstory. All right. Real quick, the Cliff Notes. Okay.
I love Cliff Notes. I use them all the time.
We're going to get down and dirty. All right. Because I was a newbie in this whole thing. I fucking Facebook, I didn't know. I did it with my kids, my grandson, all right? When I got into that group, all right, I was like, okay, let's go. Let's get some investigative stuff going on here, right? Got my team. He still doesn't believe it's my team. Still won't believe it, right? Mike Boya, there he is. There he is. There's Mike, good guy, all right? Real quick. So Blanca Guzman, all right, was the creator, right, of the original group for John and Karen, okay? And it was called Mass Corruption Unit, okay? I said, this is beautiful, because I already knew that was a shoddy investigation. That was my wheelhouse. Aiden wouldn't know his ass from his elbow on that. But it was all a big lie. He lied forever, right? He lied forever. I was believing this fucking kid is a genius. How's he fucking getting all these people? It was a lie. Listen, there was a guy down, I worked in Houston. There was a guy down in the 5th Ward in Houston, right? Taught a monkey how to take a package of money, go down to the corner and buy a package of dope. Okay. There's Rogie. Hey, he's a good guy. Let him in, because he's always been a good guy. We fight like cats and dogs. So what I'm trying to tell you, you can train a monkey to buy dope and send money back and forth. You can't train a person to look into a conspiracy. You can't train a person to get into the woods, to the weeds. Aiden Connie lied his balls off, because Karen Reed gave him everything. Everything. He had it all from her. And it's all out. He finally had to give it up, because you know what happened? The German, Natalie, gave it all to me. And I'm looking at this. I said, what do you mean? Oh, time out. Natalie, what the Christ are you saying? Yeah, Sean. I said, do they realize they kicked you to the curb and you're holding the whole goods? You could blow these people up? She says, no, I don't really want anything to do with it, right? So the bottom line is this. She said, I gave him everything on behalf of Karen. I said, fine. I said, you're the goose that laid the golden egg. Rogie knows I said that, because Rogie was with me on Team Karen. Okay? So the bottom line is this. We know why Aiden said that the other night, Amber. We know why Nick. See, there's something going on. And listen, for me right now, to get into this rabbit hole again and again and again, the bottom line is, when Karen nominated and anointed, see, you got to look at it this way. When she anointed Nikki, Big Nikki, I call him, Big Nikki, right, as the replacement on court TV for her case, right? Her case, right? That's when Aiden went fucking ballistic. Threatened her. Said, I went to jail for 60 days for you. No, you didn't, Aiden. You went to jail because of you, pal. Because of you. You didn't listen to your attorney. Real quick, I'll get back to it. Aiden feels he has ownership rights to this story. Okay? So somehow, and he blasted Nick. See, the bottom line is he will blast anyone he feels threatened by. And buddy, people, he is threatened big time. I mean, I don't know why, right? I don't know why. I mean, he's pissed that I put that thing about Proctor. I don't know why he feels threatened. Aren't we on the same team? All right.
Well, like Rita says, we all bring something different to this. We all have something to offer. It doesn't need to be cutthroat. It doesn't need to be against each other. So I think, and what you're doing, Sean, is you're carving your own lane, and that's okay. Like
it's Amber. It's not even about that. All right. Now Haley, right? Haley, fine example. Love him. He writes like nobody, right? There's our Robbie, Amorcito. What is Sean saying right now? People up in arms. That's right. Right? Because I dare to not obey. Catherine, I'm telling you, we go on for hours. We don't have the time. All right. Bottom line is this. We're going to end it right here. Right.
So I just want to say to everybody in the chat box, I'm happy you came and I appreciate you. I'm happy to hear any opinion. I see a couple people being quite disparaging towards me. Hey, you know what?
He knows it.
You can't hurt me, okay? I'm 61 years old. I've had 2 kids. I've almost died twice. You can't hurt me. Bring it on. Tell me what you don't like about the show. Tell us our panel's not educated. I didn't need to know. I knew what was going on at court today, whoever said that. I just didn't feel like watching it. I've watched so much court. I've spent so much of my time supporting Karen Reed and my belief that she's innocent and watching court. I had no need to do that today. I had other things going on. I was prepping for my really intelligent panel here, 2 men who have given their life in service to policing and keeping you all safe. I don't need you to like me. I don't have super chats. I'm not reading. I put up your chats because I want to. I would put them all up if I could, but I can't run this room. I don't have enough moderators to put up all of your comments, but I'm happy to show all your comments. I have no problem with it. You have an opinion, have it, but don't come at me and criticize me and tell me to shut up. Someone said, shut up, lady. Hey, this is, I'm renting this space.
Hold on for a minute.
Right?
Yet, Catherine, they're here. They're here. How many people you have right now? Yeah, see?
Yeah, 437.
There you go. They're here.
I want to make something clear. Can I just make this clear? It is not about pitting 2 people against each other.
No.
I have nothing personally against Turtle Boy. I actually find him very entertaining. I love his show. I still support him. I'm just pointing out that we can all have a dialogue. We can all have a conversation. I can say, I think you're not being hypocritical right now. And I can say, I understand what you're doing, or I don't. We can have conversations and be adults. We don't have to be so mean. It's not necessary.
Right.
Ed, you'll know this, right? All your experience, right? There's always 5% amongst us, right? They want to get the jump. They want to trample over you. This is our guys, law enforcement guys. You've seen them, right? I got to get my 13. I got to get this. All right. I'm going to steal his eyeballs out, right? I want that case. I want that, right? Bottom line is you earn the right to have a case. You earn the right to be promoted to a GS 12, 13, 14, whatever. Turtle Boy didn't earn that right. He was given that case. Turtle Boy was doing ratchet madness. That was his gig, ratchet madness, ambushed by surprise. Don't want to take anything from him. Jason Broyles knows he won't. He's obeying. Jason is obeying now. Nikki's back to obeying because somehow the Reeds let the Turtle Boy back. I don't know what he did. I know. I'm going to tell you right now. I questioned myself the other day. Did I hear him say on his live, I could go to Brian Tully right now and tell him that Karen gave me the addresses to go to those rolling rallies, right? I'm telling you, I heard it. I'm not that friggin' old. I heard it. Okay, so let me ask you a question. And you wonder why I didn't want to talk to that son of a bitch when he got out of jail? And he said it. He said it right afterwards. Because you know why? Mr. Reed, right, Bill, put him in persona non grata. You know what that means, Ed. You're a Fed, right? You two there. We all know. And he got pissed. But he said, she owes us nothing. Until you threaten her, Aiden, right? She didn't owe you anything, right? She owes you nothing, Sean. That's right. She doesn't.
No.
But what did she give you, Aiden? She brought you back. You got your little audience at the church when your mother died. You got the audience. I couldn't even get a fucking emoji. All right. People get this wrong. They say, oh, Sean, you burnt the source. Please, people, don't misunderstand this. She wasn't my source. I was their source. Because he wasn't smart enough to put shit together. Sorry, Aiden. You know, the iron's being pulled back. And I'm sorry. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. You don't control me. And I just called you out on it. And if you don't like it,
nobody controls you, Sean. You rent this space from YouTube and StreamYard, and there's lots of live streamers in the world today on every subject you can imagine. And if you want to come in the chat box and say you don't like me or you don't understand the point of the show is not to go over the trial of the absurd again. That trial has been gone over ad nauseum. We've heard from every live streamer over and over and over and over. We all already agree Karen Reed did not hit John O'Keefe with her car. There's no evidence for that. His body injuries did not align with being hit by a car. But this is bigger than that now. It has now turned into this movement on both sides of the aisle. And now you're fighting each other almost like politics. Like you won't listen to each other. You won't have a conversation. You won't talk things out together. You are alienating each other. You're alienating anybody that followed you, that's trying to keep somewhat of an open mind. There's people out there that they don't understand evidence collection. They don't understand what happened that night. And they're not sure. They have every right to not be sure because we have no witnesses. We have a botched police investigation where teeny pieces of particles of blood were put into Solo cups. We have one of the worst, ridiculous situations I've ever seen for a police investigation in my small career. And I know, Ed and Sean, you've seen lots of investigations, and this one was handled so poorly. So we could sit here for hours, and I could bring up all the testimony, and we could go over it, but it's not going to free Karen Reed. It's not going to make John O'Keefe any less dead. So people that are supporting her and want to see her go free have to quit all this fighting. I find it to be as like high school, and it's utterly insane to me. So
TV's in the chat. He said, I never said anything of the sort, and please don't bring my dead mother into this.
Okay there, T. I'll take that back. Don't tell me you weren't owed anything, right? Bro, this is Big Daddy here. This is Big Daddy. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. This is Big Daddy. Ain't going to happen on my watch, kid. You know I got you. I asked you very nicely how you wanted to go this time. Because this time I was ready for you. You took my patience with you as weakness. Right, Eddie? Big mistake. You are the Turtle King. You're the Turtle King. It's your story. I am so friggin' happy Karen let you back into the fold. If you threatened her, maybe that's why. I hope not. Turtle, whatever your name is, Aiden. I have a son named Aiden. He spells it the Gaelic way. I hope it's a lie. I hope you were making up things in your head. Right? You gave up a receipt that caught my attention. And Aiden, that's why I let you out of the fold and wouldn't talk to you, right? Because I know how people that come out of jail, Ed, you know how this is. They've been in there, pressure. You're not a street kid. Buddy, you're up in Worcester. Yeah, I don't even think you're in Worcester. You're not a city kid, right? You went to, Shepherd Hill Regional, right? I lived in Charlton for stupid 2 years, Southbridge. I know how you guys are up there. You're not a Boston kid. You're getting your ass kicked in Southie. Keep hanging in Southie, pal. Bottom line is this. I asked you nicely. I said, be humble. You'll get a lot further humble. Do not take another shot at me. And you did. Why? Because I infringed on your case about Michael Proctor. Hey, Aiden, you know what's funny? You and BLT are the only two that are hitting back at me on Michael Proctor. Where's Kevin? Huh? Where's Kate? Where's Rogie? I got lambasted time and time and time over the things I said. Hold on. They're not pushing back. Why are you pushing back? I know why you're pushing back. The intelligent, non-phony people know why you're pushing back. Nikki Rocco knows why you're pushing back. Right? You haven't figured it out yet. And my right hand of God, Aiden, I hope none of this comes down on you. You picked the wrong guy at the wrong moment. This time, you misunderstood my patience for you as weakness. Now, pal, you want to go the rounds? I'll go the rounds. You want to send all your little minions, right, into my world? Go ahead. I've got the receipts. You know I do. You know I do. So don't worry. I'm done with this. I don't have to think about Karen Reed v. the Commonwealth or whatever. She is bulletproof. She will never be convicted in Dedham Superior Court. Right? She will never be convicted. I believe 1,000,000%. And I'll say this tonight. And if they got the magic ball and Jules is going to say, Sean, here it is. Look at the ball. We got the magic touch here. We know how she did it. Then I'll listen. No, there's no harm in listening, right? Aiden, I'm dead to you, right? Because I'm listening.
That was the question that somebody put up, Sean, and I would just want to tell you,
embarrassed of all of us. Embarrassed all of us. Amber, listen. Hey, listen. I'm sorry you obey. I'm sorry. I don't have to obey. I believe 1,000% in Karen Reed. Kill me because I don't buy the bullshit the little emperor says now.
I think what Emma means, and I'm going to voice that. I have so much respect for you, Sean, and everything you've done to promote this case and to share it out with the world. But what's happening right now with the Facebook group and with, again, as I said, I respect every bit of independent journalism that Aiden has performed. It's been above and beyond the call.
Absolutely.
To be honest with you, most independent journalists will not risk their life because we're talking about murderers here. We're not talking about theft. We're not talking about shoplifting. We're talking about people that are trying to protect their careers, and they will go and do anything they can to save their asses. And if you don't think they'll have you killed and make it look like you unalived yourself, talk to Sandra Birchmore's family. Talk to Ellen Greenberg's family in Pennsylvania, because there are dirty cops everywhere unaliving women in domestic violence situations and making it look like they killed themselves when they didn't. So none of you in this movement, you should be, I'm asking you to be careful, be kind to each other, be careful what you do and what you say, be careful who you call out, be careful who you call names and disparage. A lot of people have guns nowadays and they're not afraid to use them. And it happens in road rage.
It's not about just protecting yourself. It's just about being good human beings. Sean, we don't always agree on everything, but I just like that you speak your mind. I like that you say your part, and that's okay. We can have differences. We don't all have to be exactly the same. We can put this baby to bed. I know you've been talking about it like crazy. I know the chat's all up in arms about this. I just wanted you to get some things straight. Can I ask you one question though about the Proctor thing? Saying
yes.
What may I ask, and I know you don't reveal sources, but where did you get that information from? Or like, do you have it on good authority?
I'm not going to reveal the source. Okay. See, when I did this little thing the other, listen, I was never really a funny guy. I don't think I'm funny, right?
Yes, you are.
I don't know, because I was really a serious guy. A lot of my guys that I've worked with, they said, Sean, lighten the fuck up. All right. My buddy right now is he's hitting me right now. That's why I'm looking at my watch. He said, Sean, stop the shit. I said, no, I will.
Sean, I just want to say, someone in the box just said you haven't mentioned John O'Keefe at all. Well, that's
not right now. Not right now.
Yeah, you guys stepped in a little late. I talked about John O'Keefe for almost 10 minutes at the top of the hour. I honored him. I showed his photos.
Absolutely.
I am all for justice for John O'Keefe. There is no justice for John O'Keefe until the actual perpetrators who murdered him get arrested, go to court, get convicted, and go to jail. So let's be clear on that. I'm not about just free Karen Reed. I am always about justice for those who are murdered. That's what Social Change Warriors stands for. We're calling out crime in the streets where we see it. We're calling out corruption. We're sick of dirty cops. We're sick of dirty government. We want clean cops, clean government, and we want, as Sean says, all the mofos to go to jail. If you killed somebody, you're going to jail. We're sick and tired of all of you getting off and not having long sentences. I would like to have Ed come on the platform.
Well, I need to answer this real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
So, Amber, I'll tell you this. Right, there was a young man killed maybe 2 months ago. All right, they made him a trooper. Right,
Enrique Delgado Garcia.
Right. All right. Bottom line is, okay, I got that information. Shocker. Thursday night, 4 hours after he was brought into UMass Medical Center. I knew he had 3 broken vertebrae. I knew he got his ass beat up big time. And I knew that the staff inside the emergency room did not believe the story that the state police was given, right? I knew he was DOA. He was on life support. He was never going to make it. So I sat. I made another phone call, all right? Hey, I've been burnt. I have been burnt. I've been burnt. All right. This time I said, okay, if that's true, all right, this was like 10:30 at night, Friday morning, all right, silent. Nothing's going. I called the guy back.
Nothing on the news.
Call the guy back. I said, can I take this to the bank? He says, telling you, I'm here. I said, okay. Made another call. Yeah, we're getting an indication. I said, all right, fuck it. All right. You go, you got sometimes. 1201. I put out, I don't know what the hell it is. 1201, 101. All right. See, Aiden couldn't say anything back then because he could care less. Right? He couldn't give a shit about Enrique. All he cares about his cash cow. This is what it's all about. Sorry, Aiden. God bless you. Someone said that's right. Bass Bob. Turtle Boy earned his thing. Yes, he did. I will never take that from you, Aiden. So what are you threatened by? Right? Put it out, 1201. I'm waiting. I said, oh, God, this is not going to turn out good. This is not going to turn out good. 1201, 101, 201, 301. You know what's happening? Everyone's waiting back. All right. See, I'm not crazy, Sean, yet. I'm sus. I'm sus, Sean. All right? They're waiting. I see them all. They're out there waiting. He's going down this time. He's going down big time. He's waiting. Well, we got to wait. What should we do? We're going to wait so longer? No one's reporting. Rex, what's her name? WBZ. Rex. Nothing. Crickets. Ted Daniel. Oh, got to play it safe, man. Can't go with it. Waiting. I got a show going on, fucking 5:30 or something like that. All of a sudden, boom. Sean, you were right.
Sean, everybody that has money in this Karen Reed, train ride is going to be careful because they don't want their brand to be damaged. So
absolutely.
Ask Bob. Yes, you're right. Hang on a second, Sean. I want to I just want to say to Ask Bob, I agree with you. Aiden earned his fame. In some ways, we all earn our fame, right? Regardless of how famous we become, whether it's just in our neighborhood or in our community or in our school or whatever we do as our job, we all earn our fame. Everyone else is bandwagon jumping. Why do you say that? Like, can you type it in the chat box? Because first of all, I'm not monetized and I never came on this YouTube platform to jump on any case. I am concerned with corruption in government. I am concerned with dirty cops in my neighborhoods. And I am concerned with victims whose murder never gets solved or who remains a cold case or who doesn't have, their families have no justice. Social Change Warriors is about all of that. I wanted to invite Sean today because I have followed this Karen Reed case from the very get-go. I have been in Turtle Boys chats. I have been in Mazza Media. I have been in Young Dirks. I have been in LTL Media. Nobody pays any mind to me because I'm just a nobody. I don't care. I don't need them to. I just like to go on and listen to what they have to say, see if I agree with it or disagree with it. And on my shows, I tend to focus on murder victims and calling out crime. I'm not trying to get into all your drama. It shouldn't even be happening, in my opinion. stop. I want you to all to stop. Like, stop calling people names, stop disparaging people. And somebody in the chat said I should learn to use big girl words or grown-up words. Since when is calling someone a cunt a big girl word or a big boy word? Come on, people. Is it the worst? Is it the worst word you can come up with? Is that it?
So getting back real quick, I just got, because I respect the Amber, and that, listen, got to give it to you. 601, right in the middle of the thing. I'm seeing the things. I'm saying, what the hell's going on? You're right. You're right. You're right. It was a kiss of death. Do you think I wanted to be right? Really? Poor kid, pummeled to death. It's been 2 months, not a word. But the problem with that was, now it's like, all right. Sean's in there. He got it. Well, then Sean went crazy, right? Sean, whoa, crazy Sean now. Now I'm really crazy. All right, getting back, that same source hits me up. He says, Sean, you said this 2 months ago. Nobody gets put on the bricks without pay if they're not going to be shown the door, right? And I said, I guarantee he will be fired. If not, indicted. But one or two things will happen. He will be fired, okay? So that same guy calls up. He says, dude, he's fired. You take it to the bank. I said, Jesus, seriously?
I trust in you and I trust in your sources, Sean. I'm not doubting you for 1 second.
But I want to finish it. I want to finish it. This is a great story. So I did the same thing.
Time out, Sean, before you finish. I'm trying to bring up, I appreciate the chat in all of my lives. So I appreciate the chat, and I like to bring the chat up, and I like them to have their say, because I don't have a horse in this race, people. I want Karen Read to be exonerated. All the infighting that you guys are doing is not my problem. No. I brought Sean on because I respect him as a law enforcement officer, and I respect all the time he's put into this case. I have written to Mazza Media, LTL Media. I've written to Turtle Boy. I've written to Aiden and Turtle Boy News. I have written to LTL. I've written to the Glare. Nobody cares about me. I've asked them to come on, that I'm interested in how they got involved in this, and I wanted to talk to them as a concerned
actually,
citizen.
you offered yourself as a law enforcement officer, and that you had a perspective, and you'd like to contribute in any way that you could.
Well, and also my years in social work, I thought would help out, but I don't have enough followers for anyone to care about me. But I reached out to Sean, who is, to me, the king of all of Karen Read is free. Let's free Karen Read. And I didn't expect to hear from him, but I just continue to try. I continue to ask people to come on my show because I want to fight corruption and I want to fight crime. I want to keep fighting it until I die, because I'm sick and tired of criminals running our government. I'm sick and tired of dirty cops raping our girls and our women. And it's happening every day in every community. So I reach out to all the live streamers because they're so involved in Karen Read. I'm thinking, maybe I can get you involved in Ellen Greenberg. Maybe we can turn her case around. She doesn't deserve to be listed as a suicide because she was stabbed 20 times. Maybe I can get you all to pay more attention to Sandra Birchmore, who was groomed since she was 13. Maybe I can get you to look out at Colorado, where Suzanne Morphew's case is still unsolved because her wicked husband murdered her, and they don't have the guts in Colorado to arrest him again. I'm standing for victims. I'm standing against crime. I am not for Aiden. I am not against Aiden. I respect him as a journalist. I am not for Sean. I am not against Sean. I respect him as a former law enforcement officer. I am for justice, and that's my hashtag, is justice. So I want to take a moment to pause from everything Karen Read and John O'Keefe, and I want to bring up Ed, who's going to tell you a little bit about crime that's going on in Indiana, because Massachusetts, it's not just all about you. We've got crime all over this country and nobody's calling it out. Everybody just wants to focus on something that gets the most clicks, the most hits, the most likes. But we've got a problem right now in Clark County, Indiana, don't we, Ed?
We do. He's the former sheriff here, Jamie Noel, Noel, if you Google it, Jamey. He just got sentenced. He's got a minimum of 9, possibly 15 years, depending upon how his sentence goes. But he pled to 27 felonies. They accounted for about $5.2 million that he stole from public taxes. He was also not only the sheriff, but he was also the CEO of a nonprofit organization that provides EMS services for Floyd and Clark County, and he stole a lot from them too. Right now, his wife and daughter have a pending trial coming up in December on the same corruption stuff. While Noel was sheriff, there was 28 women got raped in the jail. That case is still ongoing too, the criminal part. They supposedly had a videotape of it. And the videotape itself allegedly showed that the women were not raped, but suddenly this videotape doesn't exist now. So it's kind of strange
video
stuff. Yeah. Two of the people that were associated with Jamie Knoll did not get reelected last night, or did not get elected. So that was kind of good. I think to some extent, Clark County's kind of getting tired of it. They're kind of getting sick of it. But yeah, he had he was in the state police and the state police actually investigating, but he was a former state police sergeant, got out of it and became sheriff. And somehow within 8 years, he amassed 3 houses, 3 mansions, 2 in Indiana, 1 in Florida. He got a huge car collection, 133 vintage and muscle cars. And nobody, he was wearing Rolexes and $5,000 suits, and nobody said, how do you afford this? How do you afford this as a retired state trooper? What's going on here? So it's some major issues down here. And it's starting to get cleaned up a little bit, but there's still a lot to go. There's still quite a few people that are in office and appointed positions that are part of that machine that's still around.
Wow. Unbelievable, Ed. And I know you kind of have had threats against you, correct? And your family?
Yeah, they sent a couple of deputies, thugs basically with badges, to my daughter's house in South Carolina. They got caught on videotape from the surveillance cameras, so that was kind of fun to publish that. And I still do put it on Facebook and Twitter, the pictures of them standing there. Both of them are not cops anymore. One of them's a suspect in the case, and the other one was removed from service. So, they paid for it themselves. He was a major in the sheriff's department, and he's now on the street.
Wow. Wow. Well, I appreciate you so much for sharing that. And I'd love to have you back. We could dig a little deeper into it and get more information on what else is going on, because I know that you said it's deeper than people actually realize. There's got to be more connected to this than just the sheriff and his few minions, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was the county council, which is the financial body for the county down here. They didn't do any checks and balances. So that's, a lot of the money went that way. In both Clark and Floyd County, both of their county councils. The county commissioners, which was the governing body for the county down here, they didn't really do anything either. And he just kind of, he was very politically connected. He was not only the county chair, he was also the district chair for District 9 in Indiana. So anybody that wanted to run had to get his permission in that party. So he had a lot of power, and he used it. And people ceded, as you know, as Sean knows, and all 4 of you, all 3 of us, 3 of you and me, we know that you cede power to people. They don't take it, you cede it to them. You let them have it. And that's what he did. He took it. They ceded it to him, and he took it.
Yeah. And then they continued to cede it to him. And that's the part that I'm a tad confused on. Why did it take so long? I mean, a lot of his crimes are past the statute of limitations, right, Ed?
Yeah, a lot of them, as my understanding, he was kind of strange as a state trooper anyway. But when he became a sheriff, there was just a whole lot of stuff going on. And people, he was surrounded by cops that supposedly were, they call themselves good, knowledgeable cops. But how did you not see that your boss had 133 vintage cars and muscle cars? Right. He had 2 Hellcats. What does anybody need with 2 Hellcats? I mean, that's
like we said, the bystanders sometimes are just as big as a problem. Like with Karen Reed, the same situation. All these dirty cops letting the other dirty cops be dirty cops. And nobody's policing the police.
Yeah, and I don't know that the other cops are dirty per se, but they're definitely attached to the crime in that they ignored it. You can't do that. If you're going to be a good cop, you got to be a good cop. You got to stand up and willing to say something about it.
You can't turn a blind eye.
No, you can't. Can't do it as a cop. You just can't do it. It hurts you. It hurts other cops. Right now, the deputies down here, and there's some really good deputies in that department, but they're sad. I mean, it's bad for them right now. People asking them questions, and you don't see them hardly out. But a lot of them are taking their food with them and eating in the car because they don't want to go into restaurants and stuff anymore. It's, the few that I've spoken to, it's horrible for them. I feel bad for them. I really do.
Wow. Thank you so much. Any other comments about the situation in Indiana? We're definitely going to have you come back on and devote an entire show to learning more about how this started and what can be done to prevent this. Because if this is happening in Clark County, Indiana, people, this is happening everywhere. We are in a situation right now where people are abusing power left and right. They are greedy. They want money. They want all the accolades, and they do not care who they step on to get it. And they'll continue to roll that way because they get this sense in their head that they're untouchable. And that's a component of what is a very narcissistic person. Once you give them the power and they get the role, there's no going back. You have to stop them somehow. However you figure it out, how you're going to get them out of office, or how you're going to, either in cases where you can actually remove them from office. In some cases, it takes impeachment for the president, but we just can't sit by anymore as community members and go grocery shopping and go to our kids' games, talk to our friends, go to sporting events, We have to get involved. You have to get involved in your communities. You have to call it out when you suspect there's crime in your community. It happened here in my local community a year ago. Somebody suspected crime having to do with sexual harassment of female police officers, and they were afraid to bring it out. They were afraid to shine the light on it because they thought they would be ostracized. This is not a big community that I live in. Volusia County contains towns that are no more than 40, 50,000. But somebody had the guts to do it. They were the whistleblower. Why do the whistleblowers always get such a bad rap, right? When they're the ones trying to save you from corruption and crime, but yet we're going to put down the whistleblower. We're going to make fun of the whistleblower. We're going to make them feel bad and threaten them and harass them. Why is that? Why does that happen? The whistleblower is our hero, the only person that has the guts to come out and tell us that something bad is afoot.
I've had a lot of people come up to me since this has all happened, because when I first started pointing it out, people said, "You're nuts, you're crazy. This guy would never do that. He's such an honorable and good person. He's one of the best sheriffs we ever had." Now I'm getting
you're local like Sean, huh?
Yeah,
they call
now,
you local like Sean.
Well, no, they don't. They
Not
come
anymore.
up to me now and say, "You were right. You were absolutely positively right." But people sometimes don't want to believe it because they don't want to believe they've been fooled.
Right. And time will tell, and light will shine and reveal everything. It'll come out. It all comes out in the wash.
Yep.
If not, it comes out in the rinse. It's going to come out. All right, real quick. All right. This is a very good thing. Case in point. And Aiden, there's a receipt out there. This is a good one now. It's right close to you. I watched Aiden last night on his election coverage. The kid is awesome. He's talented. The way he did that show last night was absolutely fucking incredible. He is great at what he does. You can't take it away from him. I watched him. I gave that receipt, Aiden. Just look for it. I'm not blowing smoke. No reason to. I said he was in his wheelhouse. All right. Buddy, you do good. Don't blow it. That's it. And that's it. I mean, listen, we're all here. We're all in this. Right? No one's saying that Karen Reed killed John.
No.
They are. Not us.
Right. Amber, can you put up the deck for me? I want to show everybody, just to remind everyone who's new to the case, the timeline of this case. And, it's all going to come out here in January. We're either going to have a trial or it's going to get pushed, or maybe it'll just all be done. I know all of us that feel for Karen Reed and her family and everything she's been through. This could be you. Any one of us on any given day can be accused of something we didn't do. So that's why a lot of people have joined this movement to free Karen Read for justice for John O'Keefe, because John O'Keefe will not get justice if we don't find a way to free Karen Read and find a way to arrest who killed him, if it's possible, because the case was handled so poorly, as everyone's pointed out. The lack of evidence collection, the lying, the covering up, the drama going on in Canton. Thank goodness for the good people of Canton, like Rita and Jen O'Donnell and all of you that I don't know and never have met you, but thank you for doing what I'm asking everyone to do in this country. Go to your meetings, stand up and be proud and shout at these people that they don't get to run the show all the time, that you have a voice. It's your community. It's not just theirs. Just because you elected them does not make it all them and all about them. They are there for you. They are there to represent your desires, your wants and needs for your community. We need more people like the residents of Canton who have been willing to go to these select board meetings and call out these people that are constantly being in office and constantly not representing their people and getting away with murder and getting away with white collar crime right under your noses, and you put up with it because you don't want to mess it with it. You don't want to get involved. Nobody wants to look the other way. It's not in my backyard. Nope, not in my backyard. I'm not going to have that here. Forget that. You're not having a domestic violence shelter in my neighborhood. You're not having a drug addiction rehab house in my neighborhood. Oh no, put that in somebody else's neighborhood, not in mine. I don't care if someone got murdered. It's not my problem. This is the stuff you hear every day if you bother to listen. This is what's being talked about in your neighborhoods and being talked about at your city council meetings. People are now finally getting fed up, and they're starting to attend more and more. There was a record number at the city council meeting here in the town that I live in when all this corruption went down. There has been record numbers in Canton and other towns, Stoughton. This is our job as community members. Our job is not just to sit at home and watch YouTube all day. Our job is to get out of the freaking house and go to these meetings and talk to our fellow neighbors and try to change laws, try to change city ordinances that are messed up and that do not help your fellow citizens. That's what we are doing here at Social Change Warriors. We're trying to encourage you to be a citizen. Go out and help someone today. Do something. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now I want to show you the timeline. Well, this is just contact information. Amber, I can't figure out how to get this darn chat off of here now. I put it up there and now I can't get it down. I'm still working on my tech, everybody, on StreamYard and chat box. I love to put up the chats because I want to hear
it. Blue bar that says hide the chat.
I know, but I can't find it.
It's at the top. It's at the very top of the page.
Oh, way at the top.
There you go.
Look at Sean. Sean, you know more about this stuff than I do.
There you go.
My gosh, that was so frustrating. Now I've learned something new today that I can take with me for eternity. So if you just want to forward our slide deck, actually, I think I can pull this up myself. I don't need the deck quite yet. So hang on, everybody. I'm going to try to present something here to you. I want to show you an excellent time frame. And I have to figure out if this was Brandy Churchwell that put this up or one of the amazing Free Karen Read supporters has been doing amazing work. So many of them with their timelines and their just notes of the trial. And I mean, I would love to have all of them on my show just to honor them, not for any reason, not because I'm a grifter, not because I'm bandwagging, as some of you have accused me of doing today. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just a citizen trying to do something before I leave this earth. That's it. So let me just show you this timeline that I found on Instagram. And I wish it's Court TV, according to this, but I want to know who actually made this and give them the credit for it. So we've got this timeline of events. Amber, can you see everybody seeing it okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
So on December 31st, as we know from the trial, John O'Keefe and Karen Read had a squabble, a fight in Aruba. Sorry, people, but no big fucking deal. Every couple gets in a fight. Every couple has problems. That was about the biggest waste of our time that we'll never get back, that the prosecution decided to make us suffer through. And I'm sorry, you two ladies, that you got involved in this, because you should have never been called as witnesses. You had absolutely nothing helpful to tell the jury. Big, huge waste of time there. So then we have 10:54 p.m. We've got Reed and O'Keefe arrive at the Waterfall Bar and Grill. Now, this is my opinion. Okay, everybody, my opinion. That was all planned. Okay, this is my opinion. Ex-law enforcement, ex-social worker here, ex-journalist. That was not just, oh, let's invite John and Karen to the freaking bar so we can have drinks with them. No. They wanted John O'Keefe there. They had a reason for this. So this, in my opinion, this was premeditated. What happened to John, they didn't premeditate to murder him per se, but they premeditated to rough him up. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it till somebody proves me different. At 12:14, Jennifer calls John O'Keefe, and we all know that because she was very anxious because the fight didn't go down where they wanted it to. So now they needed him at the house. There's no other reason she would have asked Karen Reed, someone she obviously detested and didn't even like, to ride with her in her car. Why would she do that? There was no reason for that. It's 1 + 1 = 2 here, folks. Those of you that want to kill me tomorrow on Twitter and tell me how Karen Reed's a murderer and she purposely ran over John O'Keefe. No, she did not. This was a setup from the get-go. They were pissed at John for something. We still don't know for sure what it is, but they wanted him. They wanted to beat him up or have their way with him, teach him who's boss in Canton. And it went too far, and they blamed Karen Reed. They framed her. So at 9 p.m., this is when they're at the McCarthy's. And then, all of a sudden the Alberts are inviting everyone to their home on Fairview. Yeah, that just came up out of nowhere. Please, you guys, let's be smart about this. Reed's car is spotted outside of the Alberts' home. We know all about that from the trial. We've got Caitlin Albert leaving at 12:15. Then we've got John O'Keefe, and we've got all these phone calls supposedly that, Jen is so concerned about why John hasn't arrived. She's not concerned about Karen. She's not concerned enough to walk her lazy self outside and go find out where they are. Or there's the car. Why aren't they coming in? A normal person, common sense, walks out the door, waves, and says, hey, you coming in? Nothing in the testimony of Jennifer made any sense. It was constant lie after lie. So I'm going to break for a moment, and I want Amber, because Amber has followed this case so closely, and I want her to make some comments. I can't see the chat box right now, so you may all be going off on me, but that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Go ahead, Amber.
I mean, everybody here that's in the chat probably is pro John O'Keefe, pro Karen Reed. We all know that she's factually innocent, but what's bigger than that is the corruption in Norfolk County. And that's what we're calling out. There's a bigger picture here. It's not just about Karen. It's not just about John. It's not about any of us, really. It is about holding people accountable that are causing corruption and calling it out and using our voices to do so. So Karen's absolutely innocent. There is no facts to prove that she did this, and none of us are in a cult. We looked at the evidence and assessed it ourselves. We are intelligent people. Otherwise, other people say otherwise, but that's okay. We can look at all of the facts. We can all disagree on things, but there is no evidence other than planted taillight. I don't know what else to say other than we all know this. Anybody that's familiar with the case, and most of us are, they're accusing her and originally saying that there was ring camera footage of her hitting John O'Keefe with her car. That was a lie. They tainted the jury pool. They put that out in the media and they never retracted it. And I will say one thing. I like how Sean calls it out, and he calls it real. So Karen and Turtle Boy coming together was absolutely genius. She's a smart woman. She played the same game. She got her narrative out there as well. She made sure to defend herself, and she knew how to do it. And not every defendant gets that. Not every defendant has $5 million to defend themselves and now have to do it a second time. So, we'll call real. It's not about fighting. We're just all on the same team here, and we're all trying to get justice for Officer John O'Keefe, get justice for Karen Reed, and get justice across this country for all the mofos, because they're going down.
Very well said, Amber. And this timeline is great because it really helps all of you that didn't follow the cases closely or that are new to the case. And even those of you that did, it reminds you there is pages and pages and pages of testimony and just proof that there's no way Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe. And somebody did, because yes, we care about corruption. We care about, I care about all the communities in our world that are being affected by corruption and crime. It pisses me off. It makes me mad. It's why I'm live streaming. But I care a lot about John O'Keefe now because I've read about him. I've watched the trial. I've followed this case since it first happened when I thought it was a scary drunk driving accident. I really thought that's what it was in the beginning because I've seen enough of those in my career and I've seen enough of those in my friends' careers that drunk driving happens. People make mistakes. They do terrible things when they're drinking. And I really thought that's what it was until I started taking a closer look. But now it's more than that. We have someone who died, whose life ended for no real reason. There's no reason for anyone to murder anyone. Never, ever, ever. And all victims of murder need justice. And that's what justice for underline, because we don't know the next name we're going to fill in on Social Change Warriors. It could be anybody. It could be someone you know. It could be your family. It could be anybody. Justice for. It keeps getting bigger every day. We have to figure out how to stop these murders before they happen somehow. We have to say something, see something whenever we get the chance, because that is how it can happen. A lot of murders are preventable. They're preventable because people see the signs. People know something bad's about to happen. Sean? You still with us? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. That's it. I'm sorry. I was kind of multitasking. All right, here's the bottom line. We can do this forever. I've, like yourself there, Catherine, and maybe Amber, I have made a conscious decision to walk away from this because she's bulletproof. They don't have the case. They will never have the case because they missed it the first time. It's not going to get any better. I don't care. Key cycles, more black boxes. I don't care. There was no Pequoside Farms. That was a lie. There was no going back to John's house. 34 Fairview before she went to Jen's. That was a lie. All of that happy, whatever you want to call it, was all a lie. Their biggest problem was this, Catherine, Ed, Amber. Lally had a hit and run vehicle homicide case. He didn't do anything until the very end. He put on 68 witnesses. Alan Jackson's was smart, right? He says, I'm defending my client about a hit and run that she did not do. And the federal government spent $500,000 to bring those two brilliant, incredible doctors on to say that car never hit John, and the damages on that car didn't come from a human being, nor John O'Keefe. It's over, right? I'm out of this because I have other things to get onto. I do. I really do.
You've done everything you could do, Sean. You've aired it. You've live streamed it. Yeah, you've given your opinion.
Right with this. And I'll tell you right now, I'll give it up. I called Karen. I said, you saw my killer? She said, did. She said, yes, I did. I said, what'd you think? She was awesome, Sean. Awesome. Those were the good days, not too long ago. I get it. But the bottom line is, until Josh Levy puts the green button down, there's no reason. What we're going to do. Karen's innocent. That's it. How many more times can I say Brian and Colin were in the house? They did the deed. That's it. Tell me that they didn't. Show me the evidence that they didn't, that wasn't elaborately manufactured, quote unquote, by my buddy Kevin Lanahan. Show me that.
I have a question, Sean, and I can extend this to Ed as well.
Sure.
So when you say she's bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it separate, though, between the state and the federal government? So if the state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, wants to go forward and wants to continue, and what if in some surreal world, the jury's tampered with, who knows, and she would get convicted, how can the feds save her?
Well, they're going to have
possible?
Of course it is. Of course it is, okay. Right? Listen, pardon my expression. Ed knows this. You know this, Catherine. We all do. Shit in, shit out. Hammer and Hank can't resurrect this case. Not at all. That's it. But the sad thing about this is, and Aiden said it the other night, he did. He said, we need to get Karen found not guilty. But that does nothing for John O'Keefe? Nothing, because they're not going to make any arrests for the people who were responsible for murdering John O'Keefe.
And that can't stand, because we are not about that in this country. We are about justice for murder victims. And we can't just sit by and say, oh, okay, great. Karen Reed's free now. And I'll be so happy she is, because anybody that's been wrongly accused and sent to prison, and there are people in prison that didn't do anything wrong, and they're not getting out because they don't have an appeal process. They've exhausted it, but their families know deep down inside, and they know they didn't do it. This happens all the time. So when Karen Reed does go free, whether it's by, God forbid, another hung jury and she has to go through another trial, I hope that doesn't happen. But if she does get exonerated via the jury, or feds step in like you were saying, or anything, but then what happens? I want to know what happens to all of you that are now following Turtle Boy Aiden, because before only some of you were following him. Only those of you that agreed with his politics were on his channel, and only those of you that agreed with Sean and what he was preaching at you before John O'Keefe died. Where are you going to go next? Because I don't want you to go anywhere, because you have shown you are a great example to all the communities in this country, that if we come together and we fight to find justice for victims of crime, that we can make noise and we can get things done. So I'm begging of you, when Karen Reed is exonerated, don't go away. That's why I have created Social Change Warriors. We are bipartisan. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you love. I don't care what color you are, what religion you are. All of us need to care about criminals not running our towns anymore, and running our governments, and running our police departments. That's our job. It's not our job to fight about politics and all the other crap we fight about that has nothing to do with being civil and living in our communities in a civil fashion. That's what we should all care about. I just really appreciate that Sean wanted to come on the show and talk to me today. I saw a lot of scary stuff going on in the chat box. I had to avoid it because it made me kind of sick to my stomach. I'm not going to lie. I am not on here to piss people off or to make you upset or to have you not like me, but I don't really care. Okay. I don't care if you don't like me. I'm not on here to make friends. I'm not on here to make money. I am just a person living in my environment, trying to call out crime, because I don't like crime. I don't like men and women who think they can get away with crime at our expense. I don't like dirty cops. I don't like politicians who lie to me and tell me things and expect me to believe it because they think I'm stupid. I'm done with all that. I've lived here a long time. I don't got a whole lot to go. I'm sliding into my glory years. I'm 61 years old. So you're either with me or you're against me, but I do not care. If you're with me, I got you. I got your back. If you don't like me, good. Bye. Don't like me. I really don't care. I just want to be a good person and share my knowledge. I have a lot of it to give, and I can share a lot of knowledge with all of you that care to listen. And I like to listen to you. So that's why I put up your chat, whether I agree with it or not, because I will listen. I will debate. Anyone's welcome to come on my platform and talk. Sean, when some of the people saw you were coming on my show on the Facebook page, there were eye rolls. There were all kinds of comments like, who's that? Who is she? Why do you want to go on her show? Guess what, people? It's all about supporting local. If you support a local restaurant, if you support a local grocer or a local business, why wouldn't you support a startup channel who has no money, no money coming in, not trying to make money, just trying to do good works? Why wouldn't you support that? So are you going to tell me that once I hit 1,000, then you want to come on my channel, or then you're going to invite me on your channel? Or do I have to hit 5,000, or do I have to hit 10,000, or do I have to solve a murder? You want me to do that? Because I probably could. I could get Ed and Sean. I bet we could solve a couple murders in our retirement if we chose to. But you know what? Give the little guy a chance. Don't think that Aiden doesn't know and is grateful for what you've done for his channel. He had literally 30 followers at one time. Sean, you had 30 followers at one time.
No, I didn't.
I had 30 followers.
No, my first night I had 1,800 followers. First night. No, I owe that. I'm not. I am not. I owe that all to Aiden. We all do, right? Don't be threatened. Stand up. Don't be threatened. Yeah. Last comment from me before we get through this, right? The bottom line is, back on Proctor. Same guy gave it to me. I checked 3 times. I put it out.
Yeah.
Who were the only ones to this day that pushed back at me? Not Michael Proctor's people. Isn't that interesting? The only ones pushing back are the owners that have the copyright. Not them, not the roguey rogues of the world, not Kate, not Kevin Lenahan. He scoured me for talking about Kyle Dougal and the Traverse. Hit me every day. This is the one they should be hitting me on. They didn't do it. Who did? BLT did it, right? Aiden did it. You know, don't touch my baby. You got to get permission. No. All right. Bottom line is that's the truth. Because if I was wrong, those people that I'm going on tonight, the show I'm going on tonight, would have been lambasting me forever. Man, maybe they're going to get me. Who knows? I'm going in freely.
Whatever happens is going to happen. You get to choose whose show. Yeah, you get to choose the show you want to go on. You get to choose who you want to invite on your show because you rent this space from YouTube and from StreamYard or whatever stream you use. It's up to you. If people don't want to watch you, they don't have to watch you. They can go do something else.
We all have sources, so I like that explanation. I appreciate that. Because you explained it. It doesn't mean you're going to reveal your sources. It doesn't mean you don't have receipts.
Right.
And I trust in you and I believe in you and I'm 100% with you. You're not crazy. I think you're passionate. I think you care.
Right.
Because intentions matter.
No,
who's genuine matters.
It does. You know, patience matters too. And I guess I need to have a little bit more patience. I respect Aiden immensely. I saw that kid last night. I got to tell you, Aiden would listen. Ed knows this. Ed, I'd have a beer with you if I was back drinking. I don't think I'd have a beer with Aiden. I don't. All right. I said the other day to my team, I said, I'd probably smoke 1,000 joints with Kate Peter before I'd have a beer with Aiden. That's just me. It's not because I don't like the kid. He's not from my cloth. He's different. He's out there. That's his world. Fine.
And we're not all from each other's cloth. No. Like the lady in the chat pointed out earlier, she thinks I need to grow up and swear more. I don't need to swear more. That's not my cloth.
Oh, when you do, man, it's powerful. Holy shit. No, the last thing is this.
Before today.
Yeah, the last thing is this. The bottom line is we're on the same team here, right? We are. I'm going into the Lions desk. I told Kate last week, I said, it's no holds barred. Aiden wouldn't do that. I guarantee Aiden wouldn't do that. He would not do that. And I'm fresh meat for them. Hey, listen, I've poked, right? I will make this public apology right now. And I'm going to use my friend Kevin Lenahan, a friend, colleague, enemy, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed of myself that I didn't stand up to that crew when they cheered Aiden terrorizing a grieving mother, calling her the C word, all that stuff, right? And even right now, last night he said, and he's defending Peggy O'Keefe. Are you serious? Aiden, that's the shit that gets you where you're going, right? Tell you, right? You know where you're going with Phelps. You know that. You knew it, right? I knew it, right? You can't do that, my friend. You can't. And guess what? You can talk to the other side, but you can't now. You know you can't. But anyways, that's it. I hope you can come out tonight at 7. I told
me there. I want to watch this.
Okay. She said, "Do you have a tip? Do you have a tip thing?" I said, "What's a tip? Like call in tip 100 for crimes?" She says, "No, a friggin' Cash App." I said, "No."
Hey, Sean, I need you to do me a favor though, since you're in with her now. Let her know if she.
Wait a minute. Well, time out. I have her telephone number, right? Time out.
You give her my contact info because I think she needs a social worker. Okay, I'm telling you straight out.
Listen,
some of these ladies on the blue side, and we're all on the blue side. Let me reiterate that. Everybody that cares about Karen Reed getting exonerated wants justice for John O'Keefe.
Absolutely.
Full stop. I won't quit fighting for justice for John O'Keefe until they arrest somebody. I don't care. I'll go protest it. I'll take a flight up to Boston. This isn't over for social change warriors when Karen Reed is exonerated, because until the right person goes to jail, social change warriors is on it. And we're going to stay on all these cases that I mentioned. Ellen Greenberg, she did not commit suicide. She was stabbed 20 times. Let's go, Pennsylvania. What are you doing? Colorado, Suzanne Morphew, she did not unalive herself. She was murdered. She was shot with a freaking gun with tranquilizer in it. And come on, people, her husband did it, and he can come at me because I know he did it. I'm a domestic violence expert. He did it, and he's still free. He's walking the streets in Colorado. Come on, people in Colorado, step up. Sandra freaking Birchmore, I love you, girl. I have come to love you even though I didn't know you, because you had the guts and the audacity to keep a journal. A journal that finally pointed to the person that abused you for years and years. And I cannot wait to watch that guy go to jail. I won't say his name. Everyone knows who it is. I can't wait for them to arrest his twin and arrest Divine, that other idiot. All of the pedophile ring in Stoughton, you're all going down. Bye-bye. You're out of here. You touch another kid and the whole country's coming for you. So forget it. Your life is over. You're going to jail, all of you disgusting human beings. Ed, I want you to just close us out with a little bit, anything to add about what we can do to help you with Indiana calling out the crime there.
Well, it's getting called out on its own now. There's been a large TV interest in the case. It's been in international news. I've gotten it's been published in London, New Zealand, Australia. It's on its way now. So just keep telling the truth. Keep telling the truth and keep exposing corrupt cops and politicians. That's the only thing we all can do.
Absolutely. That's all we can do. And remember, everyone, knowledge, power, action, change. Everybody says it all the time. Knowledge is power. Well, I expanded it. This is our sign. Knowledge, power, action, change. You need all of that to work together to make a difference in your community and do what you can do. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't put yourself at risk of being killed or murdered, because it happens all the time. Journalists are murdered. Aiden, I respect you. You have put yourself in a line of fire with very dangerous people. I wrote in your chat box many times when I've been on your lives, please watch your back. Please take care of yourself. You were a school teacher. You're a journalist. You weren't a cop. You haven't seen the dark side. The three of us in this room have seen the dark side. We have all almost died in the line of duty. I have a neck injury that will never go away because of what happened to me in the line of duty. And I wasn't even near in the danger that Ed and Sean put themselves in. So Aiden, watch your back. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you trust.
That's not a threat. That's not a threat.
No,
watch your back from the mofos out there in Canton and in your town. Massachusetts right now is full of crime and corruption. And Ed's state, Indiana, they're trying to sort of clean it up. It's just the beginning. The shovel is in the hole, but it's a far long way to the rock, guys. And Massachusetts, you've done a great job. Everyone in this chat, you've done a great job supporting Karen Reed and Justice for John O'Keefe. But you have a long way to go. Your state is a hot mess. And Pennsylvania, your state is a hot mess. You just don't know it yet because you don't know enough about Ellen Greenberg, but I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to take you to school about what a hot mess Pennsylvania is. And Ellen Greenberg and her family, we are supporting you, and we will stand with you, and we will make sure that suicide, yes, I'll say the word suicide, gets overturned, because you did not unalive yourself. You did not stab yourself 20 times. So counties, cities, states, social change warriors, we may be small. We may only have 328 followers, but we're coming for you. We're sick and tired of all the crime and corruption. And I'm going to leave this life knowing that I did something, Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, my sweet Amber. You're the best. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, chat, for all your comments. I read them all. It'll take me a while. I got to get to Sean's show, but I'm going to read every one of your comments. I'll address any questions you have. Always open. My DMs are open on Twitter X. Sorry if you don't like my politics, but guess what? I get to have an opinion. I get to have politics. That's part of my life.
And you have Sean on the show wearing the Trump hat, okay? So it's not, we can have a dialogue.
Come on.
It's not the problem.
Sean knows I'm a Democrat. Frick, I've been a Democrat since the day I was born, because all my family was in politics, and I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, where Kamala won 70% of the vote, people. That's where I lived. And don't tell me I'm brainwashed, because I have a brain. I have like a lot of degrees, okay? Because I wanted to learn, and I love going to school, and I love all my books that are behind me. So don't call me brainwashed, because I've had people do that to me in the last 24 hours, say that I'm brainwashed because I was raised in Dane County, Madison, Wisconsin. No, Dane County, Madison, Wisconsin is one of the greatest places to ever live because all our high schools are inclusive. Our high schools speak all kinds of foreign languages. People love each other in our town. We support each other. We have each other's backs. We don't lie. We don't cheat. People that run for office actually care about running for office. They want to be public servants in Dane County. I'm proud of my county. I live in Florida part-time now. I'm working on it here. I got stuff going on in the purple county of Volusia, Sean. I'm coming for you, buddy.
Don't worry about it. My poor dad, who died a year ago this month, he said, Sean, don't ever forget, you were born a Democrat. I said, okay, Dad, I got you. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. You're going to vote for who you want to vote. Just do your civic duty. Vote.
That's it. Vote. You got to get out and vote. So.
Be a participant in your community. And above all else, politics at the end of the day is about policy. It's about laws to protect you. It's not about them yakking about all the things they say they're going to do for you until they prove to you they did it, until you can get a stat from a bipartisan think tank and you can see a law that actually changed and saved someone's life, like the domestic violence laws we need to change in this country and save women who are getting murdered at the rate of 1 in 4 women are being murdered by their husbands or boyfriends, people. That has to stop. We have to stop that. And we need laws to protect women when they leave their homes. These are the things you vote for. You vote for laws to protect your fellow citizens. And if the person you voted for doesn't come through, then don't vote for them again, or find someone else you can vote for. That's all I ask of you. I don't judge. I am happy to debate anybody anytime on my channel. If they want to have a politics night, come on. That can be separate from Social Change Warriors. I love to talk about politics and policy and laws and community. That's what we're all about as humans and individuals that live on this planet.
I hear you.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone on replay. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Even if you don't like me, I still appreciate you. Thanks for being here tonight.
Like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to tell them. Like, subscribe, and share.
Yes, Amber's always pushing me for all of this brand, but I'm not a brand, Amber. I'm a movement. All I care about is if you take one thing from me and you go and you attend a city council meeting and you don't want to subscribe to me, that's okay with me. Just go to your city council meeting, go to your school board meeting, be a participant in your community, care about your neighbors, whether they voted for Trump or Kamala or the Green Party. Just be kind, be nice to everyone, for God's sake. We only get to
make Americans friends again.
Thank you, Amber. All right, everyone. I'm just going to close out by reminding you that normally Wednesdays, I have a new show called The Angry Bitch Club. And yes, bitches, we are buzzing about all kinds of things that have to do with women's rights, equality for women, survivors and victims of domestic violence, and anything else we feel like talking about. And men are always welcome, respectful, kind men. Thursdays, we are calling out corruption, and we'll have Ed back on the show. We'll have Sean back on the show, and I've got a whole 2 months worth of guests coming on to tell you about different crimes that are going on in America and how we have to call them out. So free Karen Reed, justice for John O'Keefe. When it's all said and done, come back around and check us out. I'll have more crime in the streets where we can see it for you to follow and for you to stand for. Good night, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
I want to say hi to one person.
Yes, Sean.
Reese. I can't believe you're here. Thank you for coming in. Reese is from the JFK.
Thanks for coming, Reese. Hey, I want to meet JFK. If anybody's got a connection, I like that kid. Now, I'm not telling the kid because I'm 61. He's great. He calls it like he sees it. He tells you what he's the same way. He's not afraid to call it like he sees it. This guy knows his stuff and he knows how he feels and he has an opinion. So I'd love to meet him. There's lots of people I'd love to meet.
Good people know good people.
Hold on. This is the thing. Reese, listen, I love this Reese here. She's great. Shady 580. I love it. I forgot. Shady 5. You're the best there, Reese. See, I know you'd like me. You hated me like 3 weeks ago, but I know you'd like me.
I took away the chat box before, so sorry, guys. I can't put anybody's chat up, but okay. Final words. My dear mother worked for the Department of Justice her entire career. She put away a lot of bad mofos. And I just want to say, I love you, Mom. Thank you for teaching me what is right and what is wrong and how to stand up against the bullies. And our hashtag is just us. Remember that. And love and peace to you all. Good night.
Sean did a kiss too.
Oh, are we off? I don't think we're